Peasant Productions presents the math of ESP, why it works even if you don't believe in it. Okay, talking about free will here, okay, as you can see, my hands are kind of fucked up and bloody. I think my face has got a few marks on it. The Mexican police just tried to arrest me because the Mexican people haven't been able to kill me yet or steal my equipment. So the Mexican police tried to arrest me so that the people could steal my stuff. We're going to discuss the Vatican fraud, the church fraud. The town of San Juan de los Lagos will openly tell you, person after person here in the 3 years I have been here, consistently admit the only thing that a religion is a way to make money. Okay, now they do all the crossing and all that kind of weird stuff and going to church regularly and all that. They're devout Christians and Catholic. I have yet to meet anyone in this town that has actually read their Bible. I've read the entire thing. I've read something like 4 or 5 different versions almost entirely. I have read over a dozen versions just to cover my Revelations 2:17 to verify that, yeah, it does not change from variation to variation of books. Including in this video, I'm going to put up a couple of photos. I didn't take as many pictures as I was hoping I had, but in 1632, they had a circus performance in this town. And during that performance, and this is a party that they threw last year, I don't know if they had it this year or not, last year, celebrating the fact that all this money comes to town because they had a circus act that the Vatican 100 years later in 1732 validated as a miracle. Because a pretty girl fell off of a trapeze and was mortally wounded, and somebody in the crowd got up and yelled, "Oh, there's a sainted thing in the church and there's a special object. We can go pray for a miracle." And lo and behold, there's a miracle. Anyone who knows circus acts knows how easy that is to do. Anyone that knows anything about television knows it all the time. People are doing fake deaths. Fake this, fake that. It doesn't matter. This town is a complete fraud, and it has some $10 million to $50 million per year going into its coffers, in its iglesias, in its churches, strictly for the idea that they are stealing from somebody else about a fraudulent act that they are claiming was a miracle. Okay, so I gotta keep this short. I'm dripping too much blood here. The problem is that you now have, and I will put a screenshot of this also, just the other day, the Pope got up in front of the entire world and said that his priests have more power than the God itself that created them. Now, if you go back through my Math of ESP, you will see that I repeatedly talk about how a God is by definition greater than anything that can be contained in a physical body. So there is no way that a priest, even me, with all my special thingies, is in any way, shape, or form ever going to be greater than a God that cannot be contained in a physical body. Okay? So stop and think about it. Stop and look at what goes on. Stop and think about how many places in Mexico alone these miracles happen that the Vatican approves. Think about how from the U.S.-Mexican border all the way to the tip of Tierra del Fuego in South America is all called Latin America. The Vatican Church claimed all of the property, all of the land, killed everybody that argued against them. Yes, sir. Kill anybody that argues. And, they validate this. Anybody that worships Christianity, anybody that worships Judaism, anybody that worships Catholicism, anybody that worships Muslim. These are all 4 churches that I repeatedly state historically were created by the Roman Empire between, well, the Jews were kind of a little bit before that. It's kind of hard to find any real data back before that, but they were not. But the Jews were not a huge organization or a big church or anything like that until after the 300 AD to 600 AD time period, where the Roman Empire created 4 churches, the 4 winds of Revelation, okay? And sent them out in whatever direction they could to assimilate or conquer anybody that got in the way. So that is why I say you have to realize your whole entire Bible, Christianity, Catholicism, Muslims is all about conquering and killing and material wealth. What does Revelations in the Bible say? Yeah, when the church admits that it's about physical wealth, and it starts talking about being greater than the God that committed and created this planet and the people on this planet, yeah, you are in the middle, not in the end and not in the beginning. You are in, somewhere in the middle of Revelations and the end of all life on this planet. So, needless to say, this may be my last story I get up and out. This may be the last thing I get to put up. My apologies to my son. It looks like maybe I'm going to be killed as a martyr after all, even though I have been promised all my life I would never have to deal with that. Life happens. Free will. The Mexicans are stupid. The Christians are stupid. The Catholics are stupid. The Vatican and Pope Francis himself getting up and saying, oh, my priests are more powerful than God itself, are pretty freaking stupid. And it's all about material wealth. It's all about trying to kill people. It's all about trying to take anything they can from anyone else. What does your 10 Commandments say in the Bible? Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not covet another person's possessions or another person's woman or man or whatever. Thou shalt not kill or steal from another person just for those possessions. Yeah. Thou shalt not lie. Thou shalt not take thy God's name in vain. I believe Pope Francis just took his God's name in vain by saying that he and his priests were bigger than their God. You have, every way, shape, and form you look, you have somebody trying to do something illegal and validate it because they're special chosen people. You have the Israelis trying to overrun the Palestinians who have been living on that land for hundreds of years by claiming that it's their chosen land and they're supposed to be there. They're the people who are great and powerful. It should be there. You have Muslims running around saying, don't make any images of our God. You're defying our God. You're insulting our God. No, you're not. You're putting your opinion out. You can say anything you want. You get in front of the gods, you have to worry about it. Damn blood. But yeah, you really have to stop and look at what is going on and why it's going on. And why the heck so many people think that money and gold and money's designed by humans are greater than anything that exists in your spiritual realm. Like I said, I carry Revelations 2:17. Their God called me to this town to expose this corruption, this disgusting behavior. And here we are. I'm literally fighting for my life because they prefer to be disgusting, illegal, and basically insane because they keep claiming they are bigger than their God. I don't care how many gods are out there. I'm not bigger than any of them. I have never, ever in my life said I'm bigger than a God. I have said consistently that I work for them. I do not work for humans. And, here I am, literally giving my life Because the spiritual realm has somehow decided that, you know, this is the way it's going to be. Or the humans out there have applied free will and decided that they're going to be jerks and assholes, and I ended up fighting off 4 or 5 fully armed Mexicans. And I'm literally in my cave with everything bolted down and battered down and whatever I can. And as long as I got electricity and internet, I'm going to at least get this story out. One final hurrah. So, adios, folks. Until the next time. But remember, the Vatican is a lying, cheating, stealing organization, and it has no connection to any God, because it just said that it's bigger than its own God.